prepping my skin. I have used a good amount of moisturizer, and it's very important to moisturize your skin before you apply any sort of makeup, whether it is a light makeup or a heavy makeup. You need to prep your skin, you need to moisturize your skin extremely well. So you would have to apply a good amount of moisturizer, and after that you have to ensure that your skin is toned properly. So I have used a toner from Mama Earth, and so that's how my skin looks at the moment, and you at least have to give it about a 15 to 20 minutes rest before you apply or start with any makeup. So to begin with, I will start with primerizing my skin, and the primer I'm going to apply is Smashbox Vitamin Glow Primer. Take a bit more of the primer, apply it generously, and since it's summer, I can tell you this is the best primer that I could get my hands on. And it's very important that you also apply the primer, because I've seen in a lot of tutorials people generally miss out on these areas, your neck and the sides, these sides, people tend to miss out on. So I'm going to just look at the finish that I got on your nose, your eyes, and the skin. You really need to, because this is the first time I'm going to apply Smashbox Vitamin Glow Primer. I've used the other one, which is also quite good, but this is, what I can say is, see, look, it's well absorbed in my skin, and yeah, so. And once you are done with applying it, just dab it in this manner so that the product is well absorbed into the skin. We need to dab it, we do not drag it after applying. We need to dry it, we need to dab it in this manner so that we know that the product has well been absorbed in our skin. Yes, my skin prep is done. So friends, I am really sorry I couldn't find where my spoolie is, so I just have to probably just adjust. I really need to adjust, and I would request you all not to judge me because I really can't seem to find my spoolie. So what I do is, for my eyebrows, so before I go into the makeup, what I do is I start with my eyebrows, and what I do is, in this manner, I just flick it up. Yeah, that's fine. Beauty eyebrow pencil. So for my eyebrows, I'm going to use K Beauty eyebrow pencil. I'm going to make a fine line here. And again, brush my eyebrows down. To get a proper shape of my eyebrow. This is about it. I'm going to make it a bit better for you. Fill in nicely. Just ensure that all my lines are in place. Too dark either, so yeah, even if it is dark, guys, I'll ensure that it isn't looking too dark. I'll show it to you in case if it's become a little extra than needed. Right, just about this. And I am, because my eyebrows are not too, I would like to give it an extra definition with this, because I am not too good with my eyebrows. I do not have gifted eyebrows, as you see. So yes, a bit more definition and we are good to go. Please make sure that these two lines are the same. I mean, it's not gone up a little bit and this has gone down. So you just need to be very careful when you are doing this. And do not worry, if at times what happens is we do not get the right lines properly. Do not worry, we can always correct that. But you need to ensure that you have filled out your brows beautifully and there are no thin lines appearing. So yes, that's just about it. So this is the look that you get after applying your eyebrow pencil. Well, this seems to be alright. Good. So next I'm going to apply LA Girl Pro Concealer
just above my eyebrow line to get that extra definition, and beneath so that it looks absolutely perfect. As I said, in case if you are going, you don't have a fair idea about your, just a second, yeah. So if you don't have a fair idea about your brow lines, do not worry, we can always give it that extra bit of definition that's about it. Now we take a small brush, and all we got to do is this, and you want to blend it, please do it. We do get an extra definition, as I said, and do not worry if you have these lines or where your concealer is visible, because we are going to apply the foundation after we are done with this, so do not worry. And you really need to do it extremely neatly and cautiously at the same time, so that you don't end up spilling it on top of your eyebrow. Yeah. See, take a look at this. Alright? So it, kind of defines your eyebrows that way. I'm gonna quickly finish this for you. You can always blend this out properly. So this is how you define your eyebrows, and that's it. We'll quickly move on to the next step.
So now I'm going to apply the same concealer on all the darker parts of my face. My eyes, which is the eyelids, here on all the darker areas of my face as well. Some dark spots which I have on my face. Wherever you feel that you have a bit of a dark spot on your face, and trust me guys, this concealer I've been using for about a long time now. I don't quite recall for how long, but it's totally worth the money. So yeah, that's about it, and just a little more here. Yeah, we are good to go. So now I'm gonna blend this concealer onto my face with the same brush that I used to blend to apply the concealer to heighten my eyebrows. So without much ado, I would blend this out completely and well, of course. You can apply it with a blending brush, as I am doing. You may use a beauty blender, but then that's how I am comfortable. I use a blending brush to blend all of it together. A damp beauty blender as well, for this. I will also add, people, there are a lot of professionals who might be watching this video, and I'm really sorry. I mean, I am just a beginner, and this tutorial, I must again reinstate that this is totally for beginners, as I am. And if at all you feel that I am not doing it the right way, or if you have any comments or anything that you would like to, any feedback that you would like to give, I'm open to them. So and beginners, I think, since this is my first tutorial, I'm sure a lot of you would want to learn and get a fair idea about how to begin with makeup, and do it as neatly as you can. So yeah, simply try my best to make this tutorial useful and relatable. Just let me know in the comment section if you like this video. As you see, I've got a lot of dark spots on my face, which I need to cover up. And let me just tell you that, if you are at home or going for a party, or you just indoors, maybe, for a date, lunch, or anything, do apply a good amount of concealer to hide your spots. But if you are stepping out of the house and you would be outside for a considerable amount of time, then I guess you can skip highlighting, concealing the way I am doing at the moment, because that wouldn't since you're out and you would be sweating, and there would be a lot of running around to do, so you may skip this part or apply the concealer and keep it to a minimalistic, as minimal as possible. Since I'll be indoors today and I have nowhere to go, so I'm going to apply a considerable amount of it and try to make it as flawless as I can. Stepping out of the house, and if there is a lot of concealer, and on that you're applying your foundation and then your powder, your setting powder, what happens is you tend to put on a lot of makeup, and that isn't too good, because when you're out, as I said, you would perspire and makes your makeup look extremely cakey after a point. So please keep a good done with concealing my darker points, darker areas of my face. So that's about it. So I'm going to use my foundation now. So for today's tutorial, I'm going to use LA Pro Cover High Definition Foundation. This foundation has been my absolute favorite. And I've been using it for, again, as I said, for quite a long time. Do not forget to apply on your neck, and in case if you're wearing a dress or low neck dress or a sari or any dress which is below this area, you need to ensure that you have your complete coverage here as well, or else there would be two different color and it gets very messy. Rather, it looks extremely bad when you try to take a picture or a video. So yes, that's about it. And if I have left any spots, well, we can blend that out. So for I'll just use my fingers here as well. So to blend this out, I am taking a sponge which I just picked up from Nykaa during their sale. So I'm going to blend this out evenly. And please check that you don't miss out on any part of your face. Blend it out nicely under your eyes. As neatly and as precisely you can. Why I applied this foundation, why I applied this foundation with a brush and then I'm blending it out is because if you apply it with a brush, you know exactly how much you would need, and you don't end up applying too much when you're just applying it directly. The pumps, when you're pumping it directly onto your face, what happens is you do not. That's what I do. I do not keep an account of how much I'm actually applying on my face. So for the beginners out there, I would always recommend that you please, if you've got a good idea about how much foundation you really want to apply, so you can apply it directly, or you may apply the way, knowing the correct amount, just how much you would need in order to apply the foundation onto your face. Please ensure that you also apply the foundation, you blend it out extremely well onto the eyelids, because that's where we are going to apply the eyeshadow, and you do not really want to make it look too cakey. And under your eyes, you need to ensure that it is blended well. And do not leave out your ears either, because that is a part of your face. So yeah, we are done with applying the foundation almost. Alright, so guys, that's the look with foundation. So I'm going to skip to the next part. Alright guys, so we are done with applying the foundation. Now we are going to set the foundation into our skin, onto our face with a setting powder. So for setting powder, I have with me powder from Coloressence HD high definition powder. What I'm going to do is I am going to take a fluffy brush, apply a bit of my powder here, dust the excess, and just dab it under my eyes, and do not drag it under your eyes because it can make your foundation look, it can just mess it up. So just dab it over your eyelids and do it with a very light hand, guys. Do not use a heavy hand on this. And under your eyes, please ensure that you have a considerable, generous amount of powder right under your face, your eyes, because that's you would need that because you are not yet done with your eyeshadow, with applying your eyeshadow and you doing your eye makeup. So yeah, and for the rest of the face, just very lightly and with a very light hand in circular motions, just apply the powder and set your foundation, your base, with this powder. Or you can use any this is a drugstore buy, but you can use the high-end products that you get. And one of the best I would recommend is from K Beauty by Katrina Kaif, and the powder is quite good, whether it is the banana powder or it is any other powder. You can use MAC, but I'm just using it since it's a low-end product, and today just this is my first tutorial, so I do not want to go overboard with everything at one go. So yeah, that's about it. And do not forget this area. Please ensure that you have applied powder here as well, on your forehead, and that too with a very light hand. Need to be very gentle. You do not want to make a mess of what you have created till now. So that's it. A little bit on your chin, and that's about it. So to begin with my eyeshadow, I'm using Huda Beauty Neon eyeshadow palette, which has about these 9 colors. Isn't it beautiful? I love this. So Huda Beauty is my all-time favorite because it is highly pigmented, and it gives you a beautiful transition shade. They've got a lot, they've got a wide range of this colors, these shades, wherein you can really create a lot of amazing looks, and you can really create what you call a beautiful, not just a transition shade, but also a look, a beautiful look, wherein you can just go that extra, you can take that extra leap and create an amazing look. So to begin with, I'm using this shade from the palette, right? And I'm going to lightly, and whenever you are using you're applying an eyeshadow, please ensure that you are doing it in a circular motion, guys, because you really do not want to mess it up. And that's how you begin. So that's the lightest shade that I have taken, and with the circular motions, what I'll do is I will just run it through the crease of my eyes, just little above the crease rather, just to have a very light shade over there. I do not want to make it extremely dark out there. Yeah. So that's about it. I'm not sure, just forgive me if you are not being able to see what difference it has because I am really short of proper light in the room. So just bear with me a bit. I would definitely show you the full look, but this is basically, I'm just showing you how to apply the eyeshadow with a very light hand, and please do not use a heavy hand, or do not just drag the colors, because that doesn't give you a good finish. Please ensure you're doing it with a very light hand, and you are applying your shade in a circular motion. Right, that's about it. Dust the excess, do not apply it directly, because you tend to pick up a lot of pigment that way. So just dust the excess, ensure you get the amount that you really need. We do not want to layer it with a lot of color or pigment, because we really need to be very precise and extremely good at this by the time we end the tutorial. So you run it through your crease, just above the crease and your crease line, so that you get about a good, the basic idea is why we usually use a lighter color on the ends, or in the beginning of an eyeshadow, beginning of applying the eyeshadow, is just because we need to have proper control over the other colors that we would use on top. And guys, we do not want to go beyond this line at the moment. Do not go, please keep it in line and sync with this line of the line of your eyebrow, so that you have a clear understanding, as in if you go beyond this wouldn't look nice, and it wouldn't give you that neat, that defined eyes that you are trying to create. So yes, that's about it, and I think we are done with the lighter when you come towards the end, what you do is you flick your brush in the outward manner, because you do not want to flick it this way. That doesn't give you a very good look. So what you do is just flick it outward and try and keep it in sync with the line that you have of your eyebrow. So yes, that's pretty much about it, and we are done. I have with me the eyeshadow palette from Huda Beauty. It's called the Topaz Obsessions. I'm going to take this lighter brown shade. I'm going to create a transition with the shade I already have applied. Dust the excess. Just very lightly, again, try and be as precise as you can. Try and apply the same way that you applied the last shade. And here, what we would be doing is we would also, kind of apply the eyeshadow a bit more towards the inner side, because we need to have a proper transition shade. So we need to blend it out properly, flick it outside. If you want, you can use your hands in a circular motion here, and once you see that you've blended this out properly, what you do is just flick your brush towards this part when you see that we've blended this out, and there's very less amount of shade remaining on your brush. What you do is just take your brush right about inside and try and blend that out with the other lighter shade that we've just used prior to this. Just about this much, and we are not going to use too much of this particular color because we have other colors as well to blend in. So we will ensure that we are not taking too much of pigment at one go. If we want, we can always create, and we can always keep adding to the shade, keep adding to the color, the pigment that we have built already. You can keep building it up. But if you do it, if you use a lot of color right in the beginning, what happens is you would not be allowed to blend that out properly, or you will not have that opportunity to build up the color or do anything else with the color. You can always, as I said, if you keep a bit of that loophole, wherein you can add in or you can build up from what you did, that would be a much more wiser option, trust me. Alright, so I begin with this eye too, and this is what I do. I do it with a very light hand, guys, and there's no way that you can apply your transition shade, or be it any other shade. You cannot afford to do it with a very heavy hand, because that would not have the opportunity to, as I said, allow you to build on the color. Or if any problems, if there are any issues that you face, that okay guys, you've gone and put on too much of eyeshadow here, you would not have the opportunity to go back and correct that. So please be very light on your hands, and just keep moving your brush in a circular motion to get that beautiful transition shade. Do not apply your eyeshadow, do not use a heavy hand with all of this. Try and blend it out as much as you can. So this is what it is, guys. I'm really sorry. I mean, I do not have much option in the house to arrange for lights much, because this is my first tutorial. I'm really not sure how many of you guys are going to really like it, or you really will appreciate my effort. But I'll just request all of you to please bear with all the light setup here. I'll just what I'll do is I will take this lighter shade. I had shown a lighter shade there, but I would take, I really love this color. As I said, Huda Beauty pigments, they are the best that you can have as a beginner, or as one who is just starting to experiment with the makeup looks rather. So you can just go into this shade. As I said, just dip your brush here, dust the excess off, and again, just to make it a bit neater, just go into this just above your crease line. Blend this out well so that you do not have any residue of the brown shade that you have, and it gives you a very neat way. This is a very neat way of applying your shades here. Does the excess and again repeat. That's exactly how you do it, guys. One more thing, I really take a lot of time with my eyeshadow, doing my eyes, my eyeshadow, applying my eyeshadows, because this is a very vital part of your makeup, and if this goes wrong, you cannot undo it. You need to start from again the beginning. So what I suggest is, whenever you do not rush with your eye makeup. Try and be as precise as you can. And I understand, most of you, whoever is beginning or trying to learn the art of makeup, they will not be able to do it in maybe half an hour's time or so. But at least what we can do is we at least can start doing or applying our makeup way much in advance, before we hit the party, or before we go to meet somebody or anything, before any occasion. Just take your time and do your makeup, and I'm sure it's going to turn out well. All right guys, I'm going to go back to this first eyeshadow palette that I had shown you, the Huda Beauty Neon eyeshadow palette. I'm going to go to this shade at the moment. I'm going to dip a very little amount, dust the excess, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply it on the outer corners of my eye. Again, with a very light hand. This has to be the darker shade, and we cannot go, we have to be very, very precise and extremely careful about what we are doing right here. Please do flick out this brush, this portion. You need to flick it up like this so that it doesn't go right about here and it makes it messy. I would like to take some more of pigment here and create this look here. I do not want to make it messy, so I'll be very careful about this part. See, so that's how you build up the color. Dust the excess off always, guys. Please use a very light hand, because this is the color. This is extremely pigmented, and second, this is a darker shade, so we really got to be very careful. this one. Blend this out evenly and do not leave any residue, or if you see that the color is not coming out properly, please keep on blending till the time that you are satisfied and you think that fine, this is good to go. Do not use a heavy hand again. So that's how it looks at the moment. I'll just give you a closer look to this. That's how exactly it looks at the moment. I'll just go back to this color again and build this up here a little more, just to keep this in sync. Guys, as I said, be very careful on your outer corners. You do not want to spill that extra out until and unless you are using any sort of tapes or anything to get the line correct. Perfect. So this is exactly how my eyeshadow looks at the moment. So that's how it is. I'm not sure if you are able to understand the transition or the color that I have used here because of the light that I have, and so that's about it. Alright guys, so this is the look that we have as of now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a cut crease, which would be just about half the cut crease. I'm not going to resort the outer part of my eyes. I would just create I would just cut the crease halfway. So I'll just tell you what exactly I'll do. I'm going to apply this concealer here, right about to my crease, and I'm going to alright, okay, just about halfway through, as I said, just about this much here, rest of my crease, and I'm going to also create, yeah, so that's exactly what my plan is, just about this much. So that I can always do that with a brush, so that wouldn't be an issue. So here I create a line just about this much that I need, and I'm going to blend this in with the same brush that I used my concealer for. Guys, just see, this is just halfway through that I am creating, or I want to cut my crease just about this much. So I hope you can see here. Do not worry about just flicking it out a bit or something, because we are going to even that out by blending it with the transition shades again. So do not worry even if it spills out a bit here and there. Do it as neatly as you can. I'm not saying, as I said, none of us here are professionals, but we are trying to kind of get there. So if you want to blend this out a bit more, that's perfectly fine. And if not, so what we'll do is we will give it a little time to settle, so that we can work on this again. So that's how I cut my crease halfway through, and do not do anything on the outer corners of my eye. Alright guys, so our next step, this is dried up, so our next step would be that what I do is I will be applying a bit of shimmer out here in these parts. So what I'm going to do is I have taken a brush and I'm going to a bit of setting spray onto my brush, a bit, not a very generous amount. I'm going to take a bit of a setting spray onto my brush, just dry it out a bit, and just flatten it out a bit here. This way, right? So that's exactly how it is, and I flatten this out a bit here. Okay, and I'm going to take this color palette. It's again a neon green palette from Huda Beauty, and these are about the 9 more colors that I have from here, from this palette. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip into, great, I have my shade here. So this is the particular shade that I'm talking about, that I'm going to apply onto the inner corners of my eyes. To dip the brush, dust the excess, and apply. Guys, don't really worry about the fallouts, that we can always if you want, you can also blend this out with your fingers. Just a minute. You can just make it a bit of lighter shade. Just blend this out with your fingers, and we need to kind of run the brush once here. You know why we use the setting spray is because majorly, whenever we use any shimmery shades without a proper setting spray sprayed onto the brush, what happens, it tends to have fallouts, which is definitely not good, because we've already gone and applied our makeup right under our eyes, so we need to be very careful that we do not mess it up there. So that's exactly what I meant to do. I would take this shade from the Neon Rose palette, dip my brush once, dust the excess, and use it here to blend this out naturally. So that's exactly what I do. Blend this out naturally. First apply it here. Blend this out evenly and as naturally as possible. Look, so you don't have that fine line that I drew, so that it's totally a very natural finish that you get with your eyeshadow. Just take a look at this. Alright, great. Alright guys, so this is the final look, and just to add a little bit of more, to be more precise, to be more, to add a little bit of more definition onto this makeup look. I'll use the lightest shade and blend the entire thing out just to give it a very defined and a very fine look to my eyeshadow makeup. And so that it just covers up. I'll just take the lightest shade and blend this out totally so that we do not have any look, where anything which looks extremely pigmented, or we do not mean to look too loud out here. So yes, just to blend this out completely. So yes, that's about it. So guys, just tell me if you can look, take a look at this, this look. You have it here completely. Alright guys, so now I'm going to, since this is done, so now I'm going to add some colors to my lower lash line. So I'll take from this Huda Beauty Topaz Obsessions, I'm going to take this lighter shade of brown which I had dipped my brush into in the beginning of the tutorial. So I'll just take about this much, dust the excess, and you have to be in line with this particular line here, which you had flicked outside. So now you have to just blend this in. Just take the shade here and join the line here. It's fine if it's messy, it's alright, no problem. We can always fix this later on. Just go on to about halfway till your lower lash line. Just about this much. Same, dust the excess and join this line here. Just about take the brush to the middle of your lower lash line, just about this much, right? Just about this much. You just have to create a shade and that's it. Do not add extra pigment here. Just about, what you can do is you can go and add about a double shade here. That's how you're going to keep it. Now the second shade that I'm going to dip my brush into would be this purple one. Take the shade, dust the excess, now run through over this brown shade and try and go exactly till the inner corners of your eyes, just about this much. That's it, you're good to go. All you do is in your eyes take this earbud here, close your eyes, and that's it. It's going to soak you up the extra water that you are having, so do not worry about all this at all. Yeah, so that's how it is. See, pretty easy, isn't it? Alright, so we just about fill the color out here and a bit here, and that's it. We leave it here. So that is about my eyeshadow tutorial. So let's move on to the next step. So now I'm going to apply since I have applied my eyeshadow, so it cannot go, if I'm putting on a sari or a traditional outfit, it cannot go without an eyeliner. And that is like, this is my favorite part. I love eyeliners, and somehow I cannot do with an eyeliner even when I'm stepping out for work, or whenever I am on the move. Like, I need to have an eyeliner, even if I do not much care for lip shades, but I do love my eyeliners, and they have to always be with me in either my bag, or whenever I'm traveling, it has to be in my bag, as I said, or whenever I am going for a lunch date or anything, like anywhere, my eyeliner has to be there. And one of the eyeliner that I would use in my tutorial today would be from Nykaa, which I have recently purchased. And yeah, so let's just get going with it. So guys, today I'm gonna create a wing liner for the look I'm gonna carry today. So let's see how it goes. So when you're applying your eyeliner here, guys, you have to be extremely you can't create a thick line here. You cannot have thick line and that kind of follows here. It can't be like that. You have to be, the outer corners have to be defined well. It has to be thicker on the outer corner, and then it gets kind of extremely thin on this area, the inner corner of your eyes. So I'm gonna keep trying and doing, so I'll just see where it takes me. Alright, it's good. I mean, isn't it? It's quite good. Alright guys, so that's how it looks. I'm going to quickly finish the other eye and come back. Alright guys, so this is my winged eyeliner. I'm not sure if this is perfect, or I have made it right, but anyway, so that's what my version of a winged eyeliner is. So what I'll do is, I haven't applied any kajal on my lower lash line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the kajal on my lower lash line just about halfway through. Just about halfway through. And I'm going to nicely blend it out. Just as I said, halfway through. Blend it out for all of you, just to take a look. Just a moment more, and that's it. Yes, so that's how it is, and I'll quickly blend this out with the Nykaa Smoky Eye Blender. Make it as precise as you can. Just blend it out. All you have to do is just blend it out well. And just ensure that these lines are in sync and they are not like you have missed out on any section here. Blend this well so that we don't have as if there's a clear demarcation of eyeshadow kajal being on this part and maybe leaving out on this part. So there should be a continuation, so you need to be very accurate when you are blending this out. Alright, my eyelashes, I'm going to add a bit of mascara before I wear false lashes. Well, false lashes, I am very fond of them because it gives you a very natural look. Not just natural, but it lifts up your eyes, I feel, and that's very important when you are taking up for a particular occasion. So just a moment, let me just very quickly apply the mascara. And guys, if I have missed out on any brand, any name that name of a product which I haven't, it's not on purpose, honestly, but I really must have skipped out on that. Do not worry, all my description, in the description box of my link, it will be given below on the YouTube link. So please do check it out there. I'm going to give you all the details there. So if or anything else apart from that, you can just leave your comments on the comments section in my YouTube channel. So that's how it is. All right, moving on. Just add a little bit of length to my, and whoever isn't too comfortable putting on a false lash, then I would suggest you can apply double coat of mascara to your eyelashes, and yep, voila, you're good to go. I'll just apply a bit on the lower lashes as well. Lashes I would apply or put right after the tutorial, after everything is complete. So I will move on to the next step for you. For contouring, the next step would be contouring your face. What does contouring primarily mean is that in case if you have any just to make your Alright guys, I'm back now. Now moving on to the next step, which is contouring your face. Why do we contour our face? We do contouring just to create a shadow. We need to create a particular in order to give your face that heightened look. You need to contour your face, so that you have those. Your face, it gives you an extra lift to your face. That's how I can put it across. So without further ado, I'll begin the process. Alright, so I will be using two sort of brush. One would be the smaller brush, which is both the brushes are angular brushes. Now this is a fluffy brush and this is a smaller brush, which the fluffy brush I would be using for my nose, to contour my nose, my a bit of my cheekbones, but the rest I would be using on my face would be this fluffy brush. Alright, so let's begin with the fluffy brush first. So this is an angular brush, as I said. Just take this is this is from Sugar Contour D-Force Contour Bronzer. So this is the product that I'll be using today. Take a little bit, dust the excess off, and start. Do not go under your cheekbones. In order to give your face a lift, always ensure that you are applying contour right over your cheekbones, or about half an inch above the cheekbones. brush it. So basically, what we do is we don't take right from here, from the inner corners of your ears, right from here till the entire face. What we do is, in order to give your face a bit of a lift, what you do is you just come halfway through, right till the center of the pupil. Just about this much, and just blend it out nicely. You know, I've never liked too much of bronzers or what you call contours, because you know it doesn't look natural. You know, the idea is to keep your face, your makeup as natural as possible. You do not want to make it look as if it's kind of some sort of extra lines that you have. You need to blend this out properly, because you don't want the extra lines to kind of be very visible. Hence, you contour to a considerable amount so that your lines are not as prominent or as visible as you wouldn't want them to be. So many of you, what you do is, we tend to contour right above the jawline, which doesn't look good, because it creates a fine line here, and it doesn't really look good. So what I suggest is, you have your jawline here, so just take your product right here and apply it on your jawline, so that you don't end up looking like a clown, basically. I'm sorry, but that's what I feel. People drawing lines, and there are thousands of lines. The idea is just to create have a shadow on your face, and you do not want to create lines and make it messy. So that's the idea, so please keep that in mind. And I have never liked heavy contouring, honestly, because it doesn't give you that natural makeup look. So that's about it, and a bit here more. Just to create the shape that you don't want your excess product to leave behind. So that's how it is. You contour your face, so that's how you create a shade. So there's a shade that's created, and there's no fine line out here. So if you want, you blend this out a bit more, so that you don't end up looking, having a lot of lines on your face or your. So that should be natural. You need to keep it as natural as possible. I would like to blend this more out here, and again, as I said, just a bit of shade to make your face look narrower and more heightened. Natural as possible. Now we come to this part where we also need to ensure that we do not have a very big forehead, as you know, as I would like to put it. Okay, so that's about it. So the idea is just to create a shadow. That's about it. That's about it. Yeah. Alright, so as I was talking about the other smaller brush, now what this will help in is, I'll just quickly show you. I'm gonna cut this portion to make my nose look a bit slimmer. You a natural lift of the nose, and put it, make it a little more darker, that so that I have a heightened nose too, and it's not as blunt as it usually looks. So that's how it is. Deeper on this a bit because I really need to ensure that this part is totally covered up and is quite what I want. Okay. So yeah, that's almost about it. That's about it. Did you notice that there is a certain lift in my nose, this portion? So that's about it. I don't want to work more on this. However, that's how it is, and I will also quickly run through the brush here so that I am, I am aware that okay, it's good. That's about it. So I have my contouring in place. If you want, all these weird ideas come up to me, just the middle of your and here, because people have double chin or problems like that, they can very well that. So that's about it. Alright, I'm not sure how much you guys are, kind of being able to understand, but honestly, I will try my level best to, if the feedbacks are good or bad or whatever, based on that, I'm definitely trying to, I'll definitely try and give it my best shot the next time. And now we will be applying blush, so stay tuned. Alright guys, now it's time for some blush. And for blush, I'm going to use today Makeup Revolution London, and from this palette I'm going to use this shade, because I want a flushed look. I don't want to overdo with my makeup, and I don't want to go overboard with everything. I want to keep it as natural as possible. I need to also have, or I need to because it's a day makeup, it's not I'm not going to go out or anything. I'll just be at home, so I will be applying this particular shade, and let's see how it goes. So take a bit of blush here, dust the excess as I said, and apply. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply it in circular motions, and no going beyond this area or coming this way. We'll just ensure that we are going to apply the blush right in the apple of our cheeks, on the apple of our cheeks, and just this portion has to have our blush. That's all. We do not go overboard. We do not go we do not run the brush right across on the entire place here. We just need to ensure that the blush is blended well and it is right in the apple of our cheeks, so that you can smile a bit. I mean, that's not a problem. And you know what, you need to blend this as much as possible. You need to keep it as natural as possible. Take some more, dust the excess. Shoot. We are just making it as natural as we can. So no extra pigments, no taking our blush anymore. I've closed it down. So that's what we do. Perfect. So that's what it is. We are just going to keep it to this. We are not going to apply extra blush here. Just smile a bit. That's it, and that's what it is. And just go on here a bit because we need that extra flush look. Just as the excess. And that's it. I would go in for a bit of highlighter, and this I'll be using from Sugar Contour Force Mini Highlighter. So you know what, you get it in you get it in two forms. One is that you get a total one consolidated palette, wherein you have a contour, a bronze, a highlighter, and also a blush together. But when I bought it from the store, I just had these mini palettes, and they didn't come up with this palette which has all three together. So I just have this, so this should work as well. Anyway, so yeah, so I'll be using, as I said, mini highlighter from Sugar, and the shade would be Gold Glory. take an angular brush again, the one which I used to contour my nose. So I would be taking this, dust whatever is here inside, and I'll take this here. Look, this is the angle here. I would take not this part, but I would take the highlighter onto this part here, this part. So here it is. Take a bit of highlighter, dust the excess, and just apply right onto above your cheeks. This cheekbone, I don't know. This is not a cheekbone probably, but this bone right here. Just apply a bit of highlighter. Oh my god, look at this. This is beautiful. I mean, sugar highlighters are just so good, and they are not even shimmery. They are shimmery, they look shimmery, but they do not have any granules or any fine particles, which might look, kind of not required for your skin, but it is absolutely wonderful. And I would apply a little bit of my highlighter on my eyebrow bone too, just to highlight a bit of it more here. Just to get a better definition of my eye makeup right here. You blend this out if you want. You do not want, if you do not feel like, the highlighter should be too popping out, you can very well go ahead and blend this out all together right here. So take a look at it. So that's how it is. You blend this out here well, and you're good to go. So you have a bit on your eyebrow bone here, just to highlight a bit here. Alright. Now a bit on the tip of your nose, just to give that natural flushed look. Just a bit more to add. Alright, so that's how it is. On your lips too. You can blend that out if you feel, but I like it this way. Usually I would like to highlight these high points. Now what I do, a very, I don't know, I've learned this, over the years. What I do is, I do also highlight the inner corners of my eyes, just to give that extra, I don't know, I cannot seem to find my other small brush, but anyway, I'm really sorry to show this to you, but alright, so this should do as well. So what we do is, usually we kind of, in order to give this inner corner a bit, definition, what I do is I again kind of dip my small brush, and here I'm dipping my earbud into the Gold Glory highlighter, and I'm going to just a bit, give a little bit of touch up here of the so that it gives that, look, which gives an extra brownie point, I would say, to this look that I have created. See, it's how I really, wow, I just love it, love it, love it, love it. It's too good, guys. You can definitely try this hack. It's beautiful. And if you want, you can blend this out a bit if it isn't that neat, but I mean, I just don't want to. This is so perfect, and that's how it is. So highlighting the high points of my face is quite perfect. So all I have to do is just apply my lip shade, and I will also apply my eyelashes, and I shall come back in a minute. Thank you.